The audacious demand of the future. Build it today and end the wait. Growing up in the modest town of Hangzhou, I was raised under an unspoken, rigid law. The future was a prize reserved exclusively for the fortunate few, those from affluent families, those with powerful connections, or the elites educated overseas. For too long, the path ahead seemed predetermined, defined by birthright rather than ambition. But let me share the single most important lesson I ever absorbed. The future waits for absolutely no one. It will not arrive on your doorstep like a scheduled delivery, nor will it grant you permission to start. Instead, it is a magnificent, intricate structure that you must forge with your own hands, brick by painstaking brick, every single day. Your success is not a random lottery win. It is the cumulative consequence of countless small, intentional decisions. Every choice you make, no matter how insignificant it appears right now, is a seed planted in the soil of your destiny. I implore you, therefore, to look inward and ask yourself this fundamental question. Are you ensuring you plant the seeds of wisdom and action today? I recall the pivotal moment of my life. It was a late night, surrounded by a handful of skeptical friends, when I declared, within the next 2 decades, the global economy will be entirely reshaped and driven by the nascent power of the Internet. Our mission must be to build a platform that connects the small entrepreneurs, the forgotten dreamers, to the vast international markets. They laughed openly. And to be fair, their skepticism was reasonable. I possessed no capital, zero technical expertise, and certainly no blueprint for global commerce. But I did hold one asset more valuable than all of those combined: an unshakable, fierce commitment to creating a substantial and lasting difference in the world. As I consistently remind aspiring leaders, the horizon is never fixed. It only moves with you. The journey of success must begin precisely where you stand. You cannot afford the costly luxury of delay. You must act right now, in this very moment, even if the circumstances feel unstable or profoundly imperfect. The tragic reality is that countless individuals squander their most productive years, paralyzed by the pursuit of the elusive perfect moment. Let me state the harsh, squeaked, uncompromising truth. The perfect moment is a dangerous mirage, simply does not exist. Technology, the global market, and economic cycles. None of these powerful forces will pause their relentless forward march for you to feel mentally or logistically ready. If you choose an action today, rest assured, someone else, somewhere in the world, is already seizing your opportunity. I have to wonder, how many times have you put off a life-defining ambition, merely waiting for an imagined right time that is destined never to arrive? At Alibaba, we made a conscious choice to eradicate the debilitating disease of waiting. We launched not from a glossy corporate office, but from my cramped apartment. We had no immediate funding, but we had a dream. We toiled tirelessly, expending immense energy figuring out how to make the foreign concept of the Internet a practical, revenue-generating reality for the small businesses of China. There was no safety net, no guarantee of success, but we knew that in action, the decision to wait was a guaranteed slow-motion failure. This brings me to my most vital principle: if not now, when? If not me, who? Your future is not determined by the eloquent plans you draft tomorrow, but by the tangible, courageous, and deeply imperfect actions you execute today. I challenge you once more, right now, this minute. What concrete, measurable steps are you taking to actively construct your future? Your past failures, your lack of resources, or your current educational background are utterly irrelevant. The future is earned exclusively by those who choose action, even when the steps feel trivial. Because the foundations of tomorrow's most monumental achievements are deeply set in the quiet, consistent effort of today. The primacy of action. Why imperfect starts outweigh perfect plans. I have observed countless brilliant, talented people collapse into analysis paralysis. They spend years refining an absolutely flawless plan, crafting the most detailed map imaginable, yet they never take the essential step of leaving the safety of their room. When we launched Alibaba, the air was thick with skepticism. The foundational infrastructure for e-commerce in China was non-existent. But we operated under a profound realization: to start and to learn rapidly through trial and error was immeasurably more valuable than to wait for a state of mythical perfection. Consider this: what possible use is the most elegant, sophisticated business plan if the first step remains eternally untaken? I equate this self-imposed paralysis to an elite, skilled athlete who only trains in isolation but refuses to ever enter a competition. They may have superb talent, but without the intense pressure of real-world application, those skills produce precisely zero tangible results. This is why, in the early days, our team didn't dwell on our obvious weaknesses. We immediately began to utilize the few, small assets we did possess. Looking back at Alibaba's history, I realized that the hundreds of mistakes we made, what I often call our 1001 mistakes, taught us more about business, resilience, and customer needs than any meticulously crafted plan ever could. Great enduring achievement in life and business is never the result of a static, perfect blueprint. It stems from rapid, continuous progress fueled by the lessons learned from our inevitable missteps. So, I demand that you look deep inside yourself. What specific psychological force is currently keeping you tethered to the ground? Is it the paralyzing fear of failure? Is it the obsessive, time-consuming quest for an unnecessary perfection? Or is it the basic hesitation about exactly where to begin? My advice is uncompromising. You will never achieve a state of 100% readiness, and that is a fundamental, acceptable truth. Start with the knowledge you possess right now, and trust fully that the necessary skills and lessons will be acquired along the way. When you stumble, and you absolutely will, it simply provides conclusive proof that you are not stationary. You are in motion. When a skeptical journalist pressed me, "Mr. Ma, how did you muster the sheer courage to launch such a ridiculously ambitious venture with zero guarantees of success?" My answer remains the same. I would far rather fail quickly, and honestly, while trying, than spend my life frozen, paralyzed by fear, simply waiting for a perfect external sign. Action, even when deeply flawed and error-ridden, generates indispensable momentum. It is a core law of physics and of human experience. It is exactly like being a mariner caught in a fierce storm. You do unanchor and wait for clear skies to adjust your sails. You start rowing immediately. I strongly urge you, abandon the romance of ideal conditions because they exist only in theory. Take your first decisive step, even if it feels small, awkward, or ridiculous. Every genuine attempt, every insightful mistake, every necessary moment of courage is a fundamental component woven into the ultimate tapestry of your success. The only thing separating you from your future is the answer to this single question: are you willing to begin the indispensable act of building right now?